Hi there, my name is Anna, and just like many of you, I faced the challenge of learning English. Moving to a new country can be overwhelming, especially when you are still getting the hang of the language. But today, I am excited to share my journey as an exchange student in the United States. Through my story, you'll learn practical English phrases and expressions that you can use in everyday situations. In this video, we'll follow my experience from feeling nervous and out of place to gaining confidence in speaking English. And guess what? You'll have the chance to practice along with me. Don't forget to turn on the subtitles and repeat the phrases to improve your pronunciation. Together, we'll make learning English fun and engaging. Ready? Let's dive into the story. It was a bright, chilly morning in New York City, my first day at a new school. I felt a mix of excitement and nervousness as I walked through the crowded hallway. Everywhere I turned, I heard conversations in English, and although I understood bits and pieces, it was still intimidating. I clutched my schedule tightly, trying to make sense of the room numbers and directions. When I finally found my classroom, I took a deep breath and stepped inside. The room was buzzing with energy, filled with students chatting and laughing. I found an empty seat near the back and quietly sat down, hoping not to draw too much attention to myself. But then, a friendly-looking girl approached me with a warm smile. "Hi, can I sit here?" she asked. For a moment, I froze. My heart pounded as I scrambled to find the right words. "Yes, of course," I stammered, feeling a bit embarrassed by my hesitation. She sat down next to me and introduced herself. "I am Emily. What's your name?" Relieved that the conversation was simple, I managed to reply, "I am Anna. Nice to meet you." Throughout the class, I listened carefully, trying to pick up new words and phrases. My focus was on understanding the teacher and my classmates, but it wasn't easy. After what felt like an eternity, the bell rang, signaling the end of the period. As we packed up, Emily turned to me again. "Do you want to have lunch together?" she asked. I smiled and nodded, grateful for her kindness. At lunchtime, the cafeteria was bustling with activity. The smell of various foods filled the air, and the sound of clinking trays and chatter was everywhere. We got in line, and I watched as Emily confidently ordered her meal. It was my turn next, and I felt a wave of anxiety. I had practiced this moment, but now that it was here, I wasn't sure if I could pull it off. I stepped up to the counter and took a deep breath. "Can I have a sandwich, please?" I said, trying to keep my voice steady. The cafeteria worker smiled and responded, "Sure. Anything else?" I shook my head, relieved that I had understood her. "No, thank you," I replied, feeling a small surge of pride. As Emily and I found a table, I realized that small interactions like these were helping me build confidence. Each conversation was a step forward in my journey to learning English. As we sat down with our lunches, Emily began talking about her classes and asked me questions about where I was from. The conversation flowed easily, and I found myself relaxing a little. "So, how are you finding everything so far?" she asked. I thought for a moment, then answered, "It's a little hard, but I am learning." Emily nodded understandingly and encouraged me. "You are doing great. It gets easier with time. After lunch, we had some free time before our next class. Emily offered to show me around the school. We walked through the hallways, and she pointed out different rooms and shared tips about the best places to study and hang out. Along the way, she introduced me to a few other students. "This is Anna. She's new here," Emily would say, and each time I practiced responding with a polite, "Nice to meet you." One of the highlights of the day came when we stopped by the library. Emily explained that it was a great place to find books and resources for learning English. She suggested we check out a few books together, and I eagerly agreed. We browsed the shelves, and Emily helped me pick out a simple novel and a vocabulary book. "These will be perfect for practicing at home," she said. The rest of the day went by in a blur of new faces and experiences. By the time the final bell rang, I felt exhausted but accomplished. I had survived my first day, and even though it had been challenging, I was proud of myself for stepping out of my comfort zone. Later that evening, as I sat in my room going over the vocabulary I had learned, I thought back to the interactions I had throughout the day. Each conversation, no matter how small, was a valuable opportunity to practice and improve my English skills. I remembered the phrases I used. "Can I have a sandwich, please?" And "No, thank you." These were simple but essential parts of everyday communication. To reinforce what I had learned, I decided to practice saying the phrases out loud. "Can I have a sandwich, please?" I repeated, focusing on my pronunciation. It felt good to say the words with more confidence. I also tried other variations, like, "Can I have a coffee, please?" and "Can I have some water, please?" Practicing these phrases made me feel more prepared for the next day. The next morning, I woke up feeling more determined. I knew that the more I practiced, the easier it would become to communicate in English. At school, I continued to challenge myself by engaging in conversations with my classmates and teachers. Each time I used a new phrase or responded to a question, I felt a little more confident. One particularly rewarding moment happened during our group project in science class. Our task was to work together to create a simple experiment. My group members asked for my input, and I hesitated at first, but then I remembered the phrase Emily had used the day before. "Can I help with that?" I offered, and they nodded appreciatively. Using these small but powerful phrases helped me feel more connected to my new environment. "Can I help you?" and "Can I have?" became staples in my daily conversations, allowing me to participate more actively in school and social activities. These phrases were more than just words. They were tools that opened doors to new experiences and friendships. As the weeks went by, I noticed a significant improvement in my ability to communicate. I wasn't just learning English, I was living it. The confidence I gained from using simple phrases in real-life situations encouraged me to keep pushing forward. And with each new day, I felt more at home in my new surroundings. This journey of learning English through daily interactions taught me the importance of practice and perseverance. It wasn't always easy, but every effort counted. Each "can I" and "can I have" brought me closer to fluency. And I knew that as long as I kept trying, I would continue to grow. Let's break down some of the key phrases we've learned from the story and see how they can be used in different situations. The phrase "can I" is incredibly versatile and polite. It's commonly used when you want to ask for permission or make a request. For example, in the story I used, "Can I have a sandwich, please?" at the cafeteria. This structure can be adapted to many other contexts, such as ordering food, asking for help, or even offering assistance. Here is another example. "Can I help you?" This phrase is useful when you want to offer help to someone, whether it's a friend, a colleague, or even a stranger in need. It shows politeness and a willingness to assist, which is always appreciated. In a professional setting, you might hear or use this phrase when interacting with customers or coworkers. Now, let's look at the response. "No, thank you." This is a simple yet essential phrase for politely declining an offer or a service. It's always good to acknowledge the offer before refusing, which helps maintain a positive and courteous interaction. One of the important things to remember is that adding "please" and "thank you" to your requests and responses makes your communication sound more polite and friendly. These small words can have a big impact on how you are perceived by others. Let's try some more examples. If you are at a cafe and want to order a drink, you might say, "Can I have a coffee, please?" Or if you are at a store and need help finding something, you could ask, "Can I get some assistance, please?" Notice how adding "please" makes your request more respectful. Now, here's an important tip. Avoid common mistakes like omitting "please" or "thank you," which can make your request sound abrupt or demanding. Always remember to keep your tone friendly and positive, even if you are feeling nervous or unsure. To help solidify these phrases, practice them out loud in different scenarios. For example, imagine you are in a restaurant and need to ask for the bill. You could say, "Can I have the check, please?" Or, if you are in a classroom and need clarification on an assignment, you might ask the teacher, "Can I ask a question, please?" By practicing these phrases regularly, you'll become more comfortable using them in real-life situations. The key is repetition and applying what you've learned in everyday interactions. The more you practice, the more natural it will feel to use these polite expressions in your conversation. Now it's time to put what we've learned into practice with a fun and interactive activity. I am going to present a few scenarios, and I want you to think about how you would respond using the phrases we've practiced. You can repeat the phrases out loud or write them down in the comments to get even more practice. Scenario 1. You are at a cafe and you want to order a sandwich. What would you say? Wait a moment for the viewer to respond. Great. You could say, "Can I have a sandwich, please?" Remember to add "please" to make your request polite. Scenario 2. Imagine you are at a bookstore and you can't find the section for English learning books. What question could you ask an employee? Wait for a response. Exactly. You might say, "Can I get some help finding the English books, please?" This shows you are asking for assistance in a polite way. Scenario 3. You are in class and you need clarification on an assignment. How would you ask your teacher for help? Wait for a response. Perfect. You could ask, "Can I ask a question, please?" Or, Can I get some help with this assignment, please? Now let's try a more open-ended challenge. Think of a situation where you might need to ask for something in English. It could be at a restaurant, a store, or even at work. Try forming a sentence starting with, "Can I?" and adding the specific request you would make. Wait for viewers to think and possibly share their responses. Great job! Remember, practicing these scenarios helps you get comfortable with using these phrases in real life. The more you practice, the more confident you'll become in speaking English. For your next mini challenge, I want you to think about how you could offer help to someone. Maybe you see someone struggling with their groceries or looking lost. What could you say? Wait for a response. That's right. You could say, "Can I help you?" This phrase is simple but very effective in showing kindness and willingness to assist. As you go through your day, try to find opportunities to use these phrases in real conversation. Whether you are ordering food, asking for help, or offering assistance, these simple phrases will help you communicate more effectively and confidently. Keep practicing and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Every attempt brings you closer to mastering English. You are doing an amazing job, and I am so proud of your progress. Well done. You've made it through another part of this English learning journey. Today, we practiced important phrases like "can I" and "can I have," which are perfect for everyday situations like ordering food, asking for help, or offering assistance. These simple but powerful expressions can help you feel more confident in your conversations, whether you are at school, at work, or traveling. Remember, learning English is a step-by-step process. Every small practice, every sentence you form, brings you closer to fluency. And don't forget, mistakes are just part of the learning process. They help you improve, and the more you practice, the easier it will get. Keep pushing yourself to use these phrases in real-life situations, and soon you'll notice how much more natural they become. I am so proud of how much you've accomplished today. If you enjoyed this lesson, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more fun and interactive ways to improve your English. I'll see you in the next video, where we'll tackle even more useful phrases and real-life situations. Keep practicing, and remember, learning English is a journey, and every step counts. Thank you for learning with me today. Keep up the great work.